Sports, check it out. What's your name? Introduce yourself, man.
Hey, man, C-Boy, your boy.
And go ahead.
Nah, that's all day, you.
And I'm in good night. You know what I'm saying? Here at Game Point, man, we back like we never left, man.
Even though I did leave last week, it was my birthday. Sorry, you guys. Hey,
man, how old was you, man? How old you turn?
I'm turning.
You ain't gotta say that, man. You ain't gotta say all that.
I'm turning infinite.
Oh, hey, you ain't gotta say
yeah,
all
man.
That.
The little loopy circle. That's how old I am. I'm this now. It just starts to.
You just stay the same.
I'm starting to get to that age where I'm forgetting more things than most of these cats remember, man. But that's not your problem. It's mine.
That's a wise thing, though. That's a wise thing.
Yeah, man. Here on Game Point, man, where we keep the game on point, man. And you know, them other podcasts is like ashtrays on a motorcycle.
Straight up useless.
Useless.
Hey, let's go. Hey, check it out, man. We're going to start it off with a video, man. I mean, kid or not kid or whatever it is, we're going to figure it all out.
Y'all watch the video first. I know some of y'all have seen this on your feed, on your social media, and we're going to come back and have a little quick conversation about it. But yeah, it's first things first. Kid, man.
Hey, we got to figure it all out. I want to hear what the people
rocking. Dude might be from Morocco.
I mean, yes, sir. Hey, man. I don't know. Yeah, I record. How old you is?
12.
Boy, this boy 12. Boy, look here. Only time I hear the word 12 is when we running from them. But right now, boy, I talk to 12 years old. Boy, look here. If they don't go to the NFL, it's yes, sir, boy, you ready. And they gave you the hot, boy, look here. You deserve it, boy. You deserve it. They told us that they already follow me. Yes, sir. Hey, man. I don't know. Yeah, I record. How old you is?
12.
Boy, this boy 12. Boy, look here. Only time I hear the word 12 is when we running from them. But right now, boy, I talk to 12 years old. Boy, look here. If they don't go to the NFL, it's yes, sir, boy, you ready. And they gave you the hot, boy, look here. You deserve it, boy. You deserve it. They told us that they already follow me. Yes, sir. Hey, man.
Oh, let's talk. Now, this young man's supposed to be 12 years old. But I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to have to keep his birth certificate around his neck like a COVID card. Because ain't no way. That kid got a full mustache. And look, let me just say this. We were watching some of the highlights earlier. That whole team looked grown, man. I'm not have a problem with all 12 of them 12-year-olds. Yeah, all of them I got a problem with. But this was really going to throw me off. That kid coming spinning out your house. Could you imagine waking up in the morning, this little kid with a mustache is eating cereal, watching cartoons in your house? Like, hold on, man.
You want some cereal, huh?
Yeah, hold on, man. Like, now just look at this kid right here and tell me.
Jeremiah Johnson is his name.
Running back, Texas.
I believe out of Fort Worth or something like that.
Yeah, putting up all kinds of crazy yards, all kinds of accolades. They done said he done won this award like 7 years old. He's been winning it since he was 2. That ain't no 12-year-old mustache. And I'm just telling you, I'm going to have a problem with this kid when I come downstairs in the morning on a sleepover and he over here eating my cereal with a mustache.
Hey, with a mustache. He asking me, man, where's the razors at?
Yeah, he asked me about my crypto and shit. Like hold on, man. Hey, man, get this little kid from up under me, man.
Man, he said he don't want no Captain Crunch. He want steak and egg.
Yeah, he be eating like the grown man cereal, like Raisin Bran and shit. He been eating Captain Crunch. He be eating shit that's got good high fiber in it.
I want that corn flake.
Yeah, man. Like,
but hey, man, I don't know. I can't tell. I'm looking at him, man. I'm looking at him right now. He's probably 12, man. I'm gonna give him.
What about him is 12? Where though? What's 12 on him?
The arms.
The arms.
I mean, he does have a sleeve on. So,
he got a tattoo.
I mean, you right, man.
Yeah, he's not on him 12.
He's not 12.
Hey, he got them pink lips though. You know them lips have not been abused yet, so I give him that. He got them unabused lips.
Well, he's an athlete, man. He's an athlete, man.
He ain't let peer pressure get to them lips yet.
Nah.
So shout out to them pink lips on that grown kid that ain't eating my cereal. He got to eat bacon and eggs. He ain't eating no cereal. I don't care.
Shout out to Jeremiah Johnson. But here on Game Point, we gonna keep it moving, man. Shout out to the young man doing this thing 7 years in a row, man. He could have been 12 years old 7 years ago. We don't know. But
I mean, this is the air information. So, you know, somebody, I'm sure there's a parent out there that...
He probably 12. You know, they done fact-checked him every
Oh,
week.
yeah.
Facts got to
He probably next to one of them plants, man. Well, you know, they got one of them little radioactive plants out there in Texas, man. He drinking that bad water.
Yeah, man.
That Mississippi water.
We ain't going to talk about the text, man. What y'all think out here in the live chat? How y'all doing, man? We getting it cracking. We all about that action, man. We going to move on to Lamar Jackson.
So, Lamar Jackson's been out since December 4th, man. They don't have him starting this week. So, you know, he's basically got a month. And they say football don't start until after Thanksgiving. So, this is like your money month.
It's prime time.
This is your money month. Mm-hmm. And he out. Do you feel like that's impacted his stock come contract time?
Oh, definitely, man. He took a gamble. And I think that gamble was backfired.
I mean, you know, Dak did it. I don't think this is the time to gamble.
Well, it's definitely not the time to gamble. I mean, I just don't think it's the time to gamble.
But we already said it. We said he shouldn't even been on the field. Yeah, I wouldn't even play. Y'all wouldn't even seen this injury. I'd have been somewhere training.
Drinking Mai Tais.
Yeah, I'd have been on the training with that little 12-year-old. But I ain't I'm running drills with him. But now I ain't playing. I do think it's unfortunate because, you know, obviously with the franchise tag on him, he could be slated to get a solid check if he goes through with it. But I think that it's not just his injury this month. His play and his decision-making, I think, is going to cost him more than that injury this year. He has not been looking good.
He doesn't look like a former MVP.
Not in the fourth quarter, where teams have actually just started sitting on some of that RPO, kind of action that he came out with, and they just like throw the ball.
They forcing him to throw it,
and he's not making good decisions. And I think that in itself is going to cost him. As a matter of fact, I will be willing to go out on a limb and say his decision making this year is costing him more than him sitting out the entire month of December.
I think his one decision to play is costing more than everything. But his play has definitely hampered it also.
I mean, because you throwing them inside of 2-minute picks, you know you're not reading the defense properly. These are kind of things that, he running when he should be passing when he should be running. This is the kind of stuff that costs you money, man, because these teams want to invest in you. They're looking at, like, after Mahomes, they want to give 10-year contracts.
Hey, but it definitely could be. I mean, there's a lot of guaranteed money they're throwing around right now, too, at a quarterback.
I mean, I think he's good for 80 regardless.
But I think maybe the contract is on his mind, and he's trying to overdo it to ensure that. Or you think he's having problems?
It's such a tricky game. It's a tricky league, man, and like you can be hot one year and then not the next year, and ain't the only thing that really is gonna make sense is the contract.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather be sitting somewhere like Kyler Murray, who's having a tough year, with the solid guaranteed contract. Russell Wilson having a tough year with a solid contract, than to be
those guys don't care.
And they don't care about you. That's the argument, is that I don't think they care about you if you get injured or you no longer fit the scheme that they're looking for. So let me get mine on paper.
Oh, this is not for long. I mean, he definitely shouldn't have stepped in without a contract. I mean, he's definitely cost himself millions.
That's what happens when your mom be your agent and shit, man. Like, you love your mom to death, but she gonna be like, baby, it's all on you, baby. It's in you. It's not on you. It's in you, baby. Nah.
Bet on yourself.
I don't need it in me. I need it on my contract, Mom.
Bet on yourself.
Yeah, I need it on my contract.
And that got lucky. That got overpaid. I mean, he bet on himself and he overpaid.
Hey, listen, I don't really think Dak's been playing well. Since he's gotten back from the injury, I don't really think he's been playing well. I think they've had, the defense really step up. I think they've had some, extraordinary positive impact from their run game. But if you look at some of the passes that Dak's throwing, he ain't throwing no 20, 30-yard bombs. He's throwing, dink and dunks.
I mean, Dak's doing what Dak does. I mean, you got CD Lamb out there. CD Lamb and them.
I still don't trust CD Lamb.
I mean, he's showing himself. He's a number one right now.
I mean, I still don't trust him.
He's a numero uno, man, receiver.
He wasn't when he played the Eagles, though.
That sounds like a.
We'll get into that. I'm sorry.
Sounds
like. What do you want me to do? Be unsuccessful? What do you want me to do? It's the team I like.
Let's get to it, man. Build and Grow said it's very unfortunate for LJ. Johnny Doe said Lamar Jackson's career is just about on the line based upon his decisions. Something echoed some of your sentiments. Mr. DG says he has a full sleeve tag. That kid's not 12.
Somebody said it was henna, but I don't know. I'm still gonna go out on the fence and saying if it ain't, look, you don't even need that on your arm, young man.
Nah, man.
You 12 and everybody already saying you look 37. You gonna look. I'm telling you, this is one of them kind of, this is the information era right now. So if he ain't 12, somebody gonna call him out. He messed around, be 37, and he played with his son on the same team, man. That's the kind of stuff that come out.
Yeah, man, I hope they ain't going down.
I've been watching that Meg Thee Stallion trial. At this point, I don't trust nobody.
I ain't even checked it out, man.
Look, I
see they done brought somebody else up. I see they done brought
the
best friend.
The best friend that came in there was like, man, I got no comment. They was like, well, we need to get your boy. We at least need to get Tory Lanez on this one. And she was like, basically, I can't say that he shot her.
Can't say he did.
Can't say I did. And I'm just saying she got shot. So at this point,
it's all good, man. Shit, shouts out to Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, guns all up in the place for no reason.
Ain't nothing but a little shrapnel, man. You know what I'm saying?
But, hey, Lamar Jackson got to get. He should have sat out, man. He has cost himself some money, man. So he's probably just going. He's gonna get over $100 million still guaranteed.
I would say right now it's huge because they're literally in a battle for the top of their division. You got Cincinnati catching fire. You know, Huntley is not bad, but he just came out of concussion protocol. So it's like this is the time where you need that. Your fans, you're
supposed to be back.
This is just where I think you really lock up those contracts. And even if it ain't the 10-year, like they want to throw him Mahomes, because there's very few of those ever going around.
Yeah, but
you at least want that 5 baby and get it out the way early.
Man, go ahead and give me Deshaun Watson contract or Kyler Murray contract.
Oh, Deshaun Watson contract.
They can go ahead with the Mahomes contract. That's not even where it's at right
That's
now.
not where it's at. It's the Watson. Watson is that's a contract.
So I mean, shit. What we on to next?
Dion, man, we didn't get a chance to talk about that last week. I mean, all of us are watching it. We assumed.
We spoke on it.
We talked about it. We assumed it. We were like, could it be? And then he went ahead and did the damn thing.
Hey, man,
how you feel about it, man?
I'm happy for him.
Are you a Bucs fan?
I'm a Bucs fan.
Hey, first off, for any of you all who are transplants to this state, just understand and know, the CU Buffs were the first team to bring a championship of any real recognition to Colorado.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So you got to lightweight be a CU Buff fan just in general, because before the Broncos, when they were going to the Super Bowl, losing 4 times in a row, before you had the Avalanche, before the Nuggets was even really officially an NBA team and they were still ABA, the Buffs was it.
The Buffs was it. Bill McCartney and them.
Listen,
Bill McCartney had the boys up there playing.
Shout out to all my peoples. Y'all know who you are, my Buffs people. Some of my most solids is Buff alumni, man, and I just think it's good for the turf.
Hey, man, I think it's great, man. I think, man, he got a lot of hate on him for going up there to Boulder, but I think, hey, man, he's gonna bring a different culture up there to Boulder also.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem with me is that, you know, he played in the SWAC, and then they're like, you not SWAC, when he was in the SWAC, and he was getting a lot of hate for being in the SWAC, and they were like, well, you know, we don't really think, you didn't go to a SWAC school, you know, you're not really alumni of SWAC, you're not SWAC, yeah, all right, and he's like, okay, cool, I ain't SWAC, man, we're going to whoop up on you anyway, but okay, cool, I'm not SWAC, so I'm going to go somewhere, and they're like, all right, well, now look what he doing to SWAC, he gave up half his contract,
man,
But I don't think that's the reason. I think one of the reasons is that he had a coaching opportunity on the next level to go to one of the
Power Five.
The Power Fives. Get that. But I also think that Jackson State almost sealed their own fate, because when he's really looking at behind the scenes, looking at some of the numbers, he only touched on it every now and then in an interview. But he would say stuff like, "How we sure we sold out at 60,000?" And then I go look at the receipts and we got 28,000 that we actually have accounted for on money. How you get 30,000 in here, 32,000 in here, and they were saying that he had some stipulations in his contract that said that he would get paid after 30,000 people in the stands, him personally.
Oh, okay.
And then they said, well, at the last minute, hey, we're gonna throw a contract at you where they get you $1 million, but you got to pay your coaches out your own contract money. It's this kind of stuff, and that's the problem sometimes with these HBCUs. We be our own problem, man.
Oh, we are our own worst
enemy. And it stands out sometimes where when you see these opportunities where he's already flipping some of these 4- and 5-star athletes. They're bringing them to the school. You know, why are we even having this conversation about money? And when you start talking about stuff like the NIL, when you start looking at the budget that these schools are working off of, the money is being misappropriated.
You know it
as a whole conference.
Oh, you know, shoot, you already know it is.
These alumni, they stealing from these schools, man. You know, when you have a close eye on like those Power Fives, you don't get to do that.
Oh no.
But when you have something like the SWAC, you can be stealing from these schools. Ain't nobody tripping.
Hey, for years.
Ain't nobody tripping.
For years.
Yeah, you got the deacon/coach over here with a new Cadillac every 6 months. Be like, oh man, he just really working hard. He really taking that out to school. Allegedly.
Keep his money in the pocket. Keep his money right though.
Allegedly, I'm not trying to
keep his money right and tight.
But I will say that, and that first video that they had with Dion, and he was going through the facility at CU. Hey, listen, That facility's nice.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that. I didn't know they made these major upgrades.
Did you see those upgrades? I said, hey, look now.
Because that was always a knock on CU. It was like, oh, they don't got the facilities to bring
the kids. Listen. That facility was nice,
clean.
Yeah, shout out Rashawn Salam. I seen they put something up there for him, man. That's my guy, man. Rest in peace. There was a lot though. I was really when they went behind that curtain and they had like warm up pools and cool down pools and facilities upstairs and downstairs, and then when they showed the whole layout and then they walked right out to Folsom Field, I said, "Oh, hold on,
yeah,
they got Deion's full attention." But this is the question, though, and this is what we brought this up for, because clearly everybody's been talking about that over the last week. It's a couple things that need to happen.
Okay, let's go.
You got to get their band together. I'm challenging all you young men who play an instrument, anything percussion. You know that sound of an HBCU. You know what that sound like. Now, I'm not saying y'all need to have all the structure, where you make your line dance, make all those movements. But we got to get our band together.
Okay.
We got to have a solid band for this move. And then this is where when them portals open up, we're going to see about getting some of them hefty. We got to get some hefty linemen in there because Deion's son is cool. But I'm not necessarily super impressed with him as a quarterback.
They say he's a Heisman. They say he's a Heisman guy right now.
I'm not super impressed. This is in the HBCU. Like HBCUs, you can run. Like Steve McNair, when he was at Alcorn State, he was running laps around people when he was in the HBCU. He wasn't even close. He put up 400-500 yards a game, 5 touchdowns. He ain't, young Sanders ain't doing all that just yet.
Jamon Humphrey says Coach Prime, he made the right decision. Also says toxic environment. We talking about Jackson State. I can't see. Boy, my eyes getting bad.
So we got Lamar Jackson's career is about on the line based upon his recent decisions. He's a full sleeve. Are we talking about the young man? I don't have any updates past that. No way that kid is a Heisman. All right, just keep posting with us, checking in. We're getting all of our technology updated, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing all right. Shador, that's it. Mr. Sanders is all right. People keep asking Deion some of the craziest questions.
Hey, I'm telling you, Shador, it may be a Heisman. 85 Toyota SR5 says no way this kid is a Heisman.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't believe in him just yet. I'm gonna put that out there, but that's why you need a line. You need to shore up the line, and you need to shore up the band.
You don't think they're shoring up? The band may not be getting shored up just yet. That may be a year or two down the road. But that line is definitely it's gonna be some beefy dudes. When he walked into that gym, when he walked into that room, the meeting room with the Colorado kids, he said, "Yeah, y'all might as well hop in that portal too, man. Go ahead and do what you got to do."
And they need to. Y'all know y'all was trash. You know y'all was trash because y'all was playing some of these teams that was taking out their starters in the second half, and y'all kept your starters in the whole game, and none of y'all got no highlights worth talking about. Y'all wasn't getting it done. So unless y'all ready to compete for your life, go on, man. Slide out. Go to Wyoming, man. Go to UNC, man. Go to CSU, man. Stay local. That way your route ain't that far from wherever you at. And we get up on out of there, but it's going to be a powerhouse. I mean, there's going to be some serious players coming to CU.
It's changed.
That portal is going to get out of hand.
Hey, the portal was already out of hand, man. They said, man, the first day it was a couple hundred people already contacted.
200. They was like 200, and he said he ain't hard to find.
I ain't hard to find.
He coming with the Louis.
Hey, man, he said I come with the Louis.
I'm coming with the Louis.
Meet your quarterback right there.
Come on, old boy. What was his name? Hunter Henley. Or what was his name? The 4-star that went over with him over at Jackson State.
Yeah.
He out. He gonna be there in a minute.
Oh, he be there. He on his way.
Yeah, it's you're going to see some perennial talent going into CU, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it, but either compete or move.
Yeah, you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing with that.
Look, 36 is going to be back on and cracking again. And for some of y'all over the age of 35, y'all remember some nights coming down 36. One eye with the window open and the music up. Man. He was coming down 36.
Man, they just finished the construction on 36, man, from that about 25 years ago.
Listen,
just finished.
That 36 used to be a man. Look here, you come back from there with a real.
I done had some good times in Boulder.
Yeah, real good.
Some good and bad times though. I done had a bad night in Boulder, man.
Hey, you was a young Thundercat.
Don't want to speak. I was up there, man, having fun. Colorado beat Nebraska, man. I'm chilling, partying, man. It was like one of the last big times, man. Next thing I know, man, they say I'm crashing parties, and it was going down. It was going down up in the Boulder town. But
you
man,
was a young Thundercat. It was I'm telling you, he used to go up to 36, man. It used to be like Disneyland. You get up there like, hey, man, what's going on up here? That was #1 party school for a reason.
Hey, for a reason. Michelle Marcel says she's excited to see what Sanders can do, and she's not a CU fan. She's Rams all day. 85, tell you that's our 5 says Hentley gonna have to play one side of the ball in this league though, because you know he plays both sides of the ball.
He plays both sides
in the SWAC. But when you come to the Pac-10, you're gonna have to pick and choose. You might get a player or two here or there on offense though.
Yeah, man. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like that. Like that. Deion's name. He's arguably one of the best, NFL players of all time. But when he could be arguably one of the best athletes of all time.
Come on, man.
So when you talk about the legacy of being able to, for 4 years, play under somebody who is disciplined, who brings that je ne sais quoi, that swag to a team.
All right.
I really believe that this is, it's going to be out of hand really quick.
We got a caller on the hotline coming in. And shout out to my man J. Mon Humphrey.
Big J, you're on the line. What's going on?
What's up, man? Great show. Glad to be back. We talking about Deion and his choice to go to the
Power 5, Pac-10.
Right, and I mean, you can't win a national championship from AHRR.
So he basically. I'm just kind of paraphrasing for you because we want to make sure we can get everybody else involved with this process. But we're really saying, and what you're saying is that you can't win a national championship from the HSBCU, right?
You can't win a national championship from HBCU. You're not going to
turn it up. Just turn it up.
Hung up on Big J. Big J, give us a call back, man. We're going to get back in there. What he was saying before it went out, though, is basically saying that, he wants to win a national championship, which I didn't know that was Deion's aspiration. He said he had a calling from God. And
he had a few callings from God.
He didn't say necessarily that the calling from God said a national championship, but this puts him in line for that now. So, I will say that, right now, just being able to see the excitement back, just to see 36 jumping again, just to get that back.
It's cracking. It's cracking up. It's cracking, man.
And Francois, I know you used to DJ up there because we used to go over there and check on you when you was down there at CU. We're going to need you back up at the school.
Hey, man, back up there.
Francois, we need you back on the turntables at the school. You know who you are. You know what you did.
Hit the mall.
You remember the little underground little club you was at?
They used to crack.
Records, we used to. You remember that?
J. Mon Humphrey says Coach probably made the right decision. Toxic environment. When the money's not handled properly, it is also be good for his health also. And he's been somebody been overrated even when he played in high school football in Texas. He wasn't in the top 20 in Texas.
So fun fact: do you know who the highest paid college coach is?
Nick Saban.
It is, but he's actually only a couple $100,000 more than the one under him, which is Dabo Swinney. And they probably knocking off about $10 million a year. Fun fact, who's the highest paid NFL coach in the league?
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick. And it ain't close. He's making $20 million a year. Here's another fun fact. How much do you think the average cheerleader makes in the NFL?
$45,000.
You would think. It's $75,000, but if you're not actually associated and you rotation, you make $20,000. So they say they got you at an average of $15, $20 a year. So they really ain't, and they don't have they're not supposed to be able to talk to the players.
And 85 Trader 5 says when you play 2 sports, you're a stud.
Oh, he's a stud. There's no question about that. But I think we've talked about it. We understand what's going on with Deion and the impact that he's going to have on the city. We are excited about that. I don't care who you are, even if you are like the young lady called out a CSU fan. You want that attention in the city. It brings money. It's going to bring resources to Colorado as a whole. So I think for us, it's important that we do have, that kind of star power out here. And when Russell gets it together from your Broncos, because I finally see you wearing this attire, when Russell gets it together, we're going to really start getting the star power going in here in Colorado again.
Oh, it's going to go, man. But shouts out to my man, Dion, man. I think he made a great decision bringing CU back and putting him back on the map, man.
That's right.
In the Pac-12, he does have a chance to win a championship here. You can't do that at HBCU or SWAC schools, so you got to...
he did what he did. He won them twice. He won whatever you can do for the SWAC, but now it's time to, kind of up the ante a little bit.
See if you got it going cracking. See if you really got it cracking. Let's see what you're
doing.
doing.
He got something coming.
Let's see what you're doing.
Speaking of, perennial talent, let's talk about this MVP race right now. From analysts that you go clock in, that you look at on ESPN and some of the other major networks, they're saying it's a short race. They say it's really right now it's between Mahomes, and of course, obviously, Jalen Hurts. Is there anybody else that makes for a good argument?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go with Justin Jefferson. I'm gonna go with Tyreek Hill. Those are the two people I think that can make a splash. Both of them are vying to be the first receiver to gain over 2,000 yards in a season. I want to see him do it in 16, not 17, though.
Can a tight end ever win the MVP race?
Yeah, he could. Why do you ask that?
Honestly, because I think Kelsey is probably Kelsey's probably one of the closest things to being an MVP player for a team that I've seen in a long time outside of like Gronk and obviously Tony Gonzalez from a tight end slot. But I just think a lot of what Mahomes is right now is good. He's good. He's throwing the ball any kind of way you're supposed to. That you can throw the ball.
He just threw 3 picks.
But I also say that his he's a gunslinger. He's like the Brett Favre of it, where he throws amazing. He can throw some amazing plays, but he's also his turnovers is high. But when you talk about what Kelsey's done after the catch, his yak has been what's made. KC wouldn't even be a conversation if it wasn't for his yak.
His yak is unbelievable. Kelsey, I believe, is when he's done, he'll be the hands down greatest tight end of all time.
He would at least be on the Mount Rushmore of tight ends. Because there's been some badass tight ends in this league.
I think he's going to surpass all of them.
You think he'd be better than Tony Gonzalez?
Oh, yeah. He's already better than Tony G.
You think he's better than Tony Gonzalez?
Let's get to the hotline.
All right, let's say, is it Big J? Big J, we got you back. All right, brother. Now, I know we were talking before. You were discussing Dion and his inability to win a national championship at a HBCU. Why do you feel like him winning a national championship is his primary focus right now?
That's the primary focus of college football. Like, he can win the SWAC championship, which they will win whenever they have. They won. That's why they won the SWAC championship. I think that's the second year in a row.
It was.
He can't make $5 million a year at Jackson State University. Unfortunately, they just don't make that kind of money at HBCUs. But I think Dion has to be given credit for bringing the excitement back to HBCUs, right? Our kids now are considering HBCUs along with other colleges that they, what do they call them? PWIs, predominantly white institutions, right?
Some people say that.
Did you just make that up?
I don't know if I
did. You just make that up?
PWI. That's a nice one.
Did you just make that up?
Instead of PWI. I gotta write that down.
So, he has to be given credit for that, right? And then to hear people criticize this man for just taking the next step in his career, right? As a coach, you want to one day maybe coach in NFL, and this is the progression that he needs to do to be able to do that. And maybe we should give him credit for before this even happens, but he's going to change Colorado. He's going to change the trajectory of Colorado football back to where it used to be, and it's going to be able to sustain that even after he's gone.
So you brought up a couple good points, and I just want to make sure, just in case you're not getting picked up on the feed, You discussed that the next step for Deion is in going for a national championship. I personally feel like, because he said it was a calling from God that brought him back into coaching. I feel like for most coaches, your favorite coach in any NFL, at any team on the NFL level, had a similar path. It just didn't start in HBCU. It started at a JUCO. But it's the same type of path where you have to show success at a lower level. You have to get brought up, move into these Power 5 conferences if possible, and then get your next step or your platform into the NFL. Or he may not ever go to the NFL. Because, you said national championship. Deion is saying he just wants to make, great human beings, on all levels. And I think that's important. You also talked about the impact of CU being a powerhouse team and what it does for Colorado as a whole. I think that's important to really understand is that, it's good for Colorado football, but it's good for recruiting. It's good for resources to the state itself. You can't tell me if Colorado gets up and running, you're not going to have a lot of businesses around that area and a lot of money flowing in and out of this state.
Boulder is back, baby. It's cracking in Boulder.
I'm old enough to see and know when CU was in its heyday under McCartney and when he brought that the university a national championship and all the professionals, right?
Yeah.
People forget that CU was number one in sending people to the pros for a number of years. You go back to those. They had 5, 6, 7, 8 first-round draft picks, just like Miami and these other universities did too. You go ahead and research that. So he changed the trajectory, and they weren't able to sustain it because they got they started to just hire coaches. They got new hires, and he kept them at top 5. But
I think part of the problem too, though, and not to cut you off, is that unfortunately we became a victim of our own success because being the number one party school for as long as CU was, and then having that atmosphere, I think it got a little toxic out there in Boulder. And I think,
I think what you're going to get now is you're going to get young people of color wanting to enroll in CU just to be a part of that experience, and they're not even going to be athletes. And so that just improves the diversity, and it brings Boulder something that it needs, right? Because it's too white, and they've gotten complacent with some of the things that are going on up there in terms of some of the racial things that you're starting to see more and more up there. So this, I think, squashes on that. I think you bring.
But we need a band too, though. Just make sure you throw that in there too.
I think you're gonna see something different.
M. Knight, you have some feedback on that. Hang on 1 second for us, Big J. For sure. Hang on 1 second for us, Big J.
Right, so we got a comment. 85 Toyota SR5 says Deion is good for the entire conference. People are gonna want to watch, and I believe so too.
Yeah, once you guys start getting that TV money, it's a wrap. And the facility already looks nice, and they activated the NIL again because before Deion got there, they actually deactivated the NIL for those players. There was no NIL money for them. That's why
I don't think a lot of them
players left.
Yeah, Jerry Bryce's son left.
They said that was it.
Now, but hey,
the thing about it is they're going to improve the facilities in Boulder, and that's been a long-standing issue, especially with recruiting. You don't have the facilities that you have at other universities, say Oregon, and I know they get nice money, or at least
Nebraska,
Alabama, Auburn, any of these schools. When the kids get recruited, they go see the facilities. The ones in Boulder, Del War Center, they aren't up to par.
Well, it is now. It is now, and I will say I appreciate you chiming in, man, with us tonight. Please keep following the show. Comment online for us, man, so we can start. We can continue this conversation online.
That kid that is saying is 12 years old. That is a travesty of justice.
He ain't gonna be eating cereal at my house.
Right.
Hey, listen,
hold on.
He's gonna be trying to touch your wife.
All right, before we get up out of here, man. We was talking before you get up out of here, man. Before we go to the second half, real quick, we were talking about the MVP conversation in football. Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes being the front runners, and we were talking about talking about other people who may get it. He mentioned Kelsey. I mentioned Jeffries. and Tyreek Hill. Who you think could be a dark horse, or what do you think? Who you got the MVP in the NFL this year?
As a dark horse, I'm gonna go Micah Parsons as a dark horse. Depending on how he finishes the season, he has definitely changed that defense. He's almost unblockable. When you watch this kid, he motors, and you hear Stephen A. calling him a modern day LT. Now, no one's going to ever be LT, but he is having an impact on the game. Now, LT changed the way the game was played. He changed the position, everything. Outside linebacker. Micah Parsons is just a hybrid. He does everything well, which puts him head and shoulders above a lot of people in the league. I mean, I put him on the same level as Bosa. You know what I'm saying? So look for him to maybe sneak in there, man.
I mean, I appreciate that, but I think Bosa's having a better year if you go stat line for stat line. If you're just putting it out there, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Micah Parsons doing all right. I like Josh Allen should still be a part of that conversation as well, too. I mean, at the end of the day, Josh Allen's got 3,500. He's got 6 touchdowns. He's got 600 yards rushing. He's still part of that conversation. It's just, obviously Tua should be a part of that conversation as well, too. He's got 2 receivers with over 1,000 yards. Those are things that you can look at and consider. But let's be honest, the MVP is a quarterback award.
9 times out of 10.
Or is it those receivers?
I mean, at the end of the day, they got to have the ball there to be able to do whatever they're going to do.
You can throw a 5-yard out.
I mean, a 7-yard hitch. I'd like to think so.
You can throw a wheel. Like, come on, man.
I'd like.
No, we're definitely about to see. We're definitely gonna see what Tua's made of right now, because they found a way to just put people over the top right now, and they making Tua have to work, and he's not looking too good these past few games.
I think they gave the league, the 49ers, I should say, gave the league the blueprint on how to beat Miami. Because,
you don't like that.
Dominated them, but that's been 6 weeks, and it's about to be 7 weeks in a row.
So basically what you're saying is Jalen Hurts is the front runner for the MVP, and you like everything that kid's doing, and he's gotten better every week. That's what you're basically saying.
What I'm saying is Jalen Hurts has gotten better every week since last year, and he's the best player on the best team.
That's it. We don't want to overtalk that. I appreciate you, brother. You said a lot, man. We thank you, man. Please follow us online. Make sure you're chiming in so we can get some more of that feedback here on our actual page itself, man. I appreciate you chiming in with us today. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and go into our. Okay, yeah, I'm losing you. It's getting a little shaky. All right, man. We appreciate your feedback, man. You have a great evening, and please continue to follow for the rest of the show. We need some highlights. We need to figure out what's the score in that game right now.
Check it out, man. We're going to do the math and hit the second half real quick.
Do the math, do the second half. And,
we're going to get right back at it.
Can we get the score real quick before we take them out of here? It is what it is. Matter of fact, we need y'all chime in, give us the score while we're on the break, and then we're going to come back and we'll talk about that, and then we'll get into the second half and get y'all back to what y'all doing tonight. Thank you, guys. Man, again, remember, Game Point, where we keep the game
on point.
Yada me.
Shirley Chisholm is the first Black woman elected to Congress in 1968 and the first woman and African American to seek nomination for the President of the United States from the Democratic Party in 1972.
attack, man. Shouts out to the sponsors, the Power of One.
Power
and check
One.
it here on Game Point. I almost forgot. Like, share, repeat. Like, share, comment, repeat, retweet, and do it all again. Man, we trying to get to 2,000-3,000 subscribers, man. Hit that subscribe notification bell so you can know when we on, so we can hear what you got us, hear what you on, you know what I'm saying? See, we have Big J up here on the call, man. If you want to call in, man, hit us on the hotline.
Yeah, man.
720-698-6440. Check it out, without a doubt, man. Let's hit the second half, man. Pick 5. Oh, let's hit the Argentina real quick. Argentina versus France.
Yeah, so, real quick on the FIFA World Cup, man. I mean, France, my brother likes to say that they weren't the favorites. I personally feel like because they won it 4 years ago at the last FIFA Cup that they were. But, that's always something to debate. But you got France and Argentina. So this is Messi and Mbappe.
Yeah, so you talking about the best player in the game right now.
The best two players in the game.
Mbappe and arguably the best player ever.
Messi, yeah.
Messi. So,
what you think?
And they play for the same team in their club or whatever, club league.
Solid team, man. They got a lot of money over there. Resources.
I'm gonna go with the young gunner, man.
Mbappe.
Yeah.
You gonna go with it, Mbappe? You know what? I'm gonna take France, man. I'm gonna take France. I'm gonna take France on this one. Run it back to back. Messi's had a great career. Take nothing away from him. But, France is looking like that squad again, man. I know they got a couple players that were injured early before the cup actually started. I will tell you this. If you ever are trying to be more international, more worldly about yourself, start talking to foreigners during the World Cup. I mean, they don't play. I don't have some great conversation with some foreigners, man. When it comes to this World Cup, they come out. You watch football, and I'll be like, I don't care what they are. I don't care what country they from. If you bring up this World Cup,
you gotta have conversation.
You gonna have some good dialogue for me. And don't be surprised. They got resources, homie. They may mess around like, yeah, my uncle got a store right around from you. You'll be like, okay.
Messi's at the end of his career, man. He's already getting benched and those type of things. The score on the game is 21-6. San Francisco going on right now in the third quarter with 2 minutes and 27 seconds left. That's what's going down on Thursday Night Football. Look like the San Francisco 49ers going to run away with this division, and they might be big competition to your Philadelphia Eagles.
I purely think right now San Francisco has our full attention once we get past the Bears and obviously playing the Cowboys before Christmas, which again we might not even have our starters in for that game. But just right now we focus on the Bears, but we've kept an eye on San Francisco all year. They've been a fantastic team on defense. A little shaky right now at the quarterback position.
Hey, Purdy is looking all right.
But, we got some real heavyweights on our front line on defense. We got some real heavyweights over there. Ndamukong Suh came in, Joseph, Sweat, Reddick. We got some real headaches over there. Jordan Davis.
Philly has definitely
got some real grown men on the front line.
Philly has definitely went all in on
as they should
to win the Super Bowl this year.
We took that blueprint from the Rams last year.
That's good. Hey,
sell out.
So y'all might be looking like the Broncos next year. So let's go ahead and keep it moving, man. We're gonna hit the pick 5. Man.
Okay, let's do it.
Hit the pick 5 so we can get the people up out of here, and I can get up out of here. I gotta get something to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Home cook.
Shit, I'm gonna go. Nah, it's too late for that. It's too late for that.
Got this man a meal. Hey, so first you have the first team we got on there is the Niners and Seahawks, and that is the game that's playing.
That's on right now.
This is a big game for the conference, man. And the Seahawks really should have been able to show up on this one because you can really tighten that gap. This one right here really separates San Francisco.
Hey, man, they are
in their division. This is the one.
They are who I thought they were. Yeah, San Francisco is gonna run away with this, man. The Seahawks, man, they had even if they won, they still would have been behind them, and even if they ended up with the same record, I believe San Francisco holds that tiebreaker. So,
really surprising team. I would say comeback player of the year for sure, and Geno Smith. I'm really proud of that young man Walker the third. The running back. Metcalf, a little shaky. He ain't the fastest, but him and Lockett have definitely put together a resume this year. Shout out to the Seahawks. Hopefully, they make it a little bit more interesting for them in the game. But this is a big game for them to take.
The Seahawks are about to get the Broncos' first round pick, so they'll be picking number 2 or 3. So Seahawks are in a good place.
We'll be right behind you. Shout out New Orleans. Thank you for that. We got picked the number 5. Is it 4 or 5? We got the number 4 or 5 pick.
As of right now, it could. As of right now, it could. It's fluctuating.
It's right here.
It's just fluctuating. So all right, let's. What's the next game we on? We on the. Do we want to go Bills? No, that's good. Let's go
down the line. Tennessee and Chargers.
Tennessee and the Chargers.
Chargers have lost two in a row now. They lost to
Tennessee?
us. Tennessee. They lost to us, and they lost to the Jaguars last week.
Oh yeah,
they got stomped by the Jaguars. As a matter of fact.
It's still they're still winning their division, but this is definitely a big game. This could be a possible playoff preview if things stay around the same. You got the Chargers who are starting to gain their traction back. You got Herbert out there looking like the player that they drafted. In Tennessee, like you say, they're floundering right now. They've lost 2 in a row. Jacksonville could be in play to win that division, so it's looking it can get a little murky out there if Henry don't get back. They call him King Henry. He don't get back on track.
As a matter of fact, and just to say it, obviously the Niners in the first game. I'm gonna take the Chargers in the Tennessee Chargers game. I just feel like the Chargers is playing a lot harder right now. Henry has not been able to really establish himself in that run game. Teams are starting to figure out you got to stay on him early. If you let him get some momentum, then yeah, he's a problem. If you can just get points on the board early against Tennessee, it makes Henry ineffective because you can't run him like you want to. So you get points up early, which I think the Chargers really have the personnel to do so. I'm taking the Chargers.
I'm taking the Chargers too. The Chargers have their duo wide receiver duo back, Williams and Allen. So they're probably about the 4th or 5th time they just played together all season. So it'll be the 2nd week in a row. They're going to do nothing but get better. They got a young guy, Palmer, out there who was out when they were out, and he's starting to come through with his thing.
Williams?
And you got Eckler. I said Mike Williams.
Oh, yeah, you did put Williams out there? Yeah, okay.
And you got Eckler out there who's continued to do his thing. Also, shouts out to another Colorado kid out there. We talked about 2 of them already. We didn't talk about McCaffrey, but shouts out to McCaffrey. Shouts out to Eckler, man. Shouts out to them Colorado running backs. You didn't know, man. I think all 3 of them were in the same draft because you had Lindsey out there and you have all 3 of them from Colorado who are all with 1,000-yard rushers in this league. So shouts out to Colorado putting out them backs in the league.
Look at you. Man. Historian. Colorado historian.
85 Toyota SR5 says Seahawks going to take the QB with that pick. Probably.
Gino has been doing a great job for you guys.
It's not everlasting.
Yeah, but you also got to take into consideration Tom Brady is showing you that you can have a lot of life in this league if they.
Tom Brady's about a wrap. Man, while you're speaking on Tom Brady, what a great segue, man. We talking about the Bucks and the Bengals.
Huge opposite. This right now is big for both teams because you have both teams really competing and fighting for the lead in their division. I think for the Bengals, it's huge because they're literally tied with the Ravens. And so I think both of them sitting at 9-4. This is a huge win for them. They have Chase back. Mixon is still in there. He's been a little quiet, but when you put that receiver core, you have Joe in there, and you put that together. I like personally the Bengals is going to really put it down on the Buccaneers. This is the game that just puts them out of it.
It could put them out of it, but that division is so
shaky. Like the NFC last year. We could all get in.
Yeah.
We could all get in. Last year, we could all got in. I will say this. I don't bet against Tom Brady. After that comeback win he had the other day, that's why I say it. I don't bet against him for money, but I'll bet against him for just the actual talent of a team. Bengals on this game.
I'm going to take the Bengals. Tom Brady and them are in an ultimate slump. And the Bengals are probably the hottest team in the league right now.
Jacksonville and the Bengals, I'll probably say the two hottest teams right now.
They're 9-4. They started off slow, like you said. They got their full complement of players, and Joe Burrow, another dark horse for the MVP if they keep winning the way.
Detroit's been hot too, man.
Detroit's catching wind. Detroit's about to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, man. Detroit catching fire.
my favorite name.
Oh Lord Jesus, there's a fire.
My favorite name on here is back, man. My eggplant, your mama.
Oh, look at him.
He said, damn it, missed the show, man. You here. He said, Burrow, baby. Joe Cool for Super Bowl MVP. Hey, must be a Cincinnati fan.
Like this year's Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's what he said.
I mean, yeah, if you want to come down, we'll be there. So, I mean, whoever they got on that side that want to come hang out, we'll definitely be there.
Hey,
had that conversation.
Shouts out to all the people on there, man. Shouts out to all the people giving comments like we say. Like, share, comment, repeat, retweet, and do it all here at Game Point Sports. But I'm going to take Cincinnati.
I got Cincinnati. Next one we got coming up is the NFC East Battle of the Bottoms. You got NFC East Battle of the Bottoms. You got the Commanders and the Giants. I think both of those teams right now, you have one team trending up and you have one team that's trending down. I think the Commanders right now, with everything around that team and organization in disarray, I think this is where you are the most focused as a team. When you guys are just like, hey, we just fight for each other. I think they're a dangerous team right now. Clearly, we have to respect and understand that because they the one that gave us that scratch. But I just think that they're playing very good football right now.
Hey, man, Ron Rivera.
Heineke.
He has them playing. He has them focused, like you say. They're not on the outside things going on with their owner and those things going around, name changing. He's keeping it all focused in the locker room. Heineke. He's out there playing, man. He's making a splash right now. He's a player, man. He looks like a winner. He's
ugly. I can really appreciate that ugly underdog, man, because that's been his whole life, man.
But I'm gonna take Washington.
Joe Burrow quarterback always got his girl. He the ugly one that just come in there and just play good football, man. Shout out to him, man. But, I'm going to take Washington on this one.
I'm going to take Washington also. Shout out to my people in the hometown of Washington, D.C. Washington, 85 Toyota SR5 says Washington, New York has lost their momentum. And that's for sure. But Saquon Barkley, man, he should be comeback player of the year, actually.
If he'd had a stronger last couple of games, I would have definitely had him in the running. But those holes have been getting real tight, man. It ain't been looking like it was the beginning of the season.
Daniel Jones ain't opening it up
Daniel Jones is probably playing the best I've ever seen him play in his life.
My eggplant, your mama says, ask a question, is Saquon a bust? Nah, Saquon back. Saquon is back.
Ain't too many teams that wouldn't take a Saquon right now. I'll tell you what, if he started looking at that waiver wire,
Saquon is back.
Yeah, he's back in there. He jump in that portal. There are going to be some people that want to talk to him. Immediately. Last but not least, we got the Dolphins and Bills, another divisional opportunity. This is it. This is what's going to say, hey, Tua, Dolphins, defense, Wilson, that whole core right now, are you all what you all have shown over the last month since Tua's been back? Because this is the game. And I also say that for Josh Allen, are you going to show that consistency going into this, really late into December to say that you all are going to be the perennial team again for the AFC? Or is this going to be something that you guys fall victim to again and maybe KC gets out on you guys? So this is a huge game. This is one of those, man. Bet the money line. Definitely tune in with your popcorn. This is it right here.
Hey, huge game for, you're right, huge game for Josh Allen. Huge game for Tua. Both of them have something to prove. You talking about Tua with these receivers. You talking Buffalo with their defense. You got Josh Allen's doing his thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big statement game, but I think it means more for the Buffalo Bills right now because they are one of the teams that were predicted to go to the Super Bowl and win it at the beginning of the season. So.
Do you think that Buffalo can take an L on this one and still be able to get that momentum, or do you feel like if Miami drops 3 in a row, this puts them out of it? I feel like this game is bigger for Miami. Miami needs to win this because they're not leading their division. So this is the game that they can either take a W off of Buffalo's win column and add one to theirs inside of their division.
They can bring it closer.
This is huge.
I mean, it's a big game for both.
Come on, Waddle. Come on, Tyreek. What y'all got?
We gonna see, man. We gonna see. But I'm gonna take Buffalo, man.
I got Miami.
And 85 Toyota SR5 takes Buffalo. And Miami playing your mama says Michael Sanders ended up better than Barkley.
Miles Sanders? If he's talking about the running back for the Eagles, yeah.
No,
I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get
definitely
into
not.
that.
He's definitely.
I don't want to do it.
He's definitely not. But
I don't want to do it.
Quick question to the people before we get up out of here.
Okay.
I should have posed it earlier.
Okay.
What's the hardest habit you ever had to break?
What's the hardest habit I've ever had to break? Well, first off, I ain't no quitter, man. So usually something I start, I'm still doing. First off, I just try to do it a little bit better. But I ain't into quitting shit, man. Okay. I can't quit you. What's your hardest habit you had to quit?
This right here, man. I can't.
Pepsi's?
Yeah.
My wife's addicted to those things, man. Her and her family, they all of them, man. You can get a lot of favors done with a cold can of Pepsi.
I done stopped a lot of things in my life. 85 Toyota SR5 said smoking by far was his.
Good. Shout out to you on that, man. Like, that journey in nicotine and tobacco. I know some people it could be vaping or, tar products and stuff with cigarettes and Black & Miles. It's a personal journey, and I know that drinking, obviously in this state, ain't nobody gonna stop smoking weed. The only thing that's gonna get you to stop smoking weed is your job. You gotta lose a job and not get a job from weed before you're gonna even question it. But I do appreciate anybody that takes that. Yeah, so man, that's a good one, man. I appreciate it. That's definitely. And if you haven't had something, like I said, I'm gonna put myself out there. I ain't no quitter, man. I just try to do whatever I'm doing a little bit better or a little bit different, but I ain't no quitter, man.
Shouts out to the people and all the habits you done broke for the good or the bad or the sad. But check it out, man. Game Point, man. We up out of here. Peace.